going, child. Many things learned in prison. Blessed and still living, trying to earn every penny that I'm getting.
A society supposedly based upon law, and it doesn't enforce its own law because the color of a man's skin happens to be wrong, then I say those people are justified to resort to any means necessary to bring about justice where the government can't give them justice. But when a black man strikes back, he's an extremist. He's supposed to sit passively and have no feelings, be nonviolent, and love his enemy. No matter what kind of attack, be it verbal or otherwise, he's supposed to take it. But if he stands up and in any way tries to defend himself, then he's an extremist.
Hello, everybody. I want to start by addressing something you said when you came right back in. You said if we acted in the fashion we did again, this meeting could not go on. Yet multiple people have been killed by these motherfuckers and Stefan. It has, no, shut up. It has continued to go on. So you care more about decorum in here than you do people who are alive. Because you shut down meetings over decorum. Stop looking at me like that. You're so immature. But you haven't shut them down over killing people. My journey with Sacramento killing black people began with Joseph Mann, a human being in need of emergency medical attention. He was instead met with the care of SAC PD in the form of "fuck this guy, I'm gonna hit him," Officer Tennis. Last year, Stephon Clark, a human being regardless of accused activities, toxicology reports, or relationship status, was a human being with a Fourth Amendment right, who instead was criminalized due to his race and murdered in a state-sanctioned execution. You can't even look at me, I'm so right. Last evening, I watched an overfunded and hyper-militarized force, not police, occupational force, agitate protesters, instill fear and panic, and then kettle them in a classic kettle and corral tactic, which, by the way, was started in the open-air prison known as Palestine by Israeli police and taught to our police all over this country. How much we pay to learn that? The underlying factor of all these cases is SAC law enforcement dehumanizes people on our dollars and with your agreement. When was the last time you were dehumanized? Because I think it's about time. You have shown zero ability to empathize with us. You have shown less ability to care. You are all terrible officials, in my opinion, worse people. To quote Dr. King, a riot is the language of the unheard, and you ain't fucking listening. The last person who spoke before the singer said Anne-Marie Schubert has no soul. To quote Stokely Carmichael, in order for peaceful protest to work, your overseer has to have a conscience. You don't have one. You radicalized 84 people on a bridge last night for no reason. They showed up peacefully and were still arrested. Someone up here with all your education, explain to me why they should be peaceful next time. What is the onus? What is the impetus? You fucked them up when they were peaceful. You don't get it. You don't listen. You think it's gonna stay like this. And I'm gonna start right here with saying I don't speak for anyone else or any group out here. This city's gonna burn in the next 30 to 60 days if you don't shut up and listen. Shut it down!
So while I was in Africa, he was saying that we should forgive. I put a message out to the Pope on African TV, and I said, Mr. Pope, you can't ask us to forgive you before you repent of the evil that the church has done to the indigenous people and make atonement for your evil, then ask us to forgive. But no forgiveness before repentance
and atonement.
And atonement. This is what I want to say to my silly black brothers and sisters who want to forgive. Want to forgive for what we've been through, the blacks in America, for 460 years, and the native people over 500 years. Forgiving is good. Peter said to Jesus, Master, how often should I forgive? And Jesus told Peter, 70 times, 7 times. That's an infinity of forgiveness. But let me say this to the forgiving family. Jesus was not saying forgive Satan. Satan was born to do evil. There's no forgiveness for him. There's destruction for him. It is you and I who have been made other than ourselves because of being under them. They bred their evil nature into us. So I'm looking at a red man, but I might be looking at my enemy parading as a Native American. Don't lie to yourself. You've been made white under your red skin, like we have been made white under our black skin. So you don't know what the hell you're dealing with when you deal with us, because one day we act like we are the real Native American, the real black man, the real Mexican, and then out of our mouth will come a satanic expression. Greed and lust. That's why we sell out our people. That's why on the Indian so-called reservation or Indian lands, there are leases to these white people who have literally taken the wealth from your land and made a few people rich. This is their pattern all over the earth. And it's this kind of Indian, this kind of so-called black man that is a stumbling block in the path of our progress. And I really say that we've got to clean up our act. And I tell you what I learned. 49% of those who inhabit native lands are not Indians.
That's true.
Well, wait now. How did they get everything from you and you have nothing? They come in posing as a friend. That's how they got Texas. They came in little by little. Then the next thing you know, they wanted to bring slavery into Texas, and the original Mexican would not have it. War broke out, and they took Texas. They took Arizona. They took New Mexico. They took California. You can't forgive Satan. And if you're dumb enough to forgive a devil that has been doing this ever since he's been on our planet, you deserve the death that you get from the hand of a snake who's walking in your midst, making you think that he wants to worship with you. I know. I tell you, brothers and sisters, I'm full. I can't help myself. I'm an old man now, 82, and I don't have no time to play with truth or to be diplomatic. To hell with you diplomats and your foolish diplomacy. Speak straight words, because those are the words that will bring about a change, not this delicate language. I want to be politically correct. How in the hell can you be politically correct when you're blind, deaf, and dumb and destroyed by your enemy? To hell with you and your political correctness. Be a man, be a woman, and speak the truth, and then die on that truth if it comes to that. Stand up. And we won't have to have these kind of radio broadcasts in the future. We'll be sitting down talking about what we have done, what we have built, what we have given to our children rather than what they are doing to us. They'll continue to do it until we say, never again, and mean it.
And how much we love each other. That's what we will be talking about.
Yes.
So you breathe, look at my neck, man. One of my homies died. You ready back on these cars.
I'm about to die, just say.
Why?
Man, I can't breathe in my face. Just get up.
What do you want?
I can't breathe. Please, the knee in my neck. I can't breathe.
Get up, get in the car.
Mama.
Get up and get in the car right.
I can't. My dick. I can't breathe.
Bro, get up, get in the car, man.
I will.
Get up, get in the car.
I can't move.
I've been waiting the whole time, man. Get up, get in the car.
Mama.
Get up and get in the car right.
I can't.
I gave y'all the opportunity to get in, bro. I told you can't win.
My knee.
You can't
my neck.
win, man.
I'm through.
I know you in there, but you didn't listen.
That's the food. My stomach hurts. My neck hurts. Everything hurts. Get some water or something. Please. Please. I can't breathe all the time.
Shut up.
They're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me, man.
Bro, with your feet on his neck, man, you get out the car.
His nose is bleeding. Like, come on now.
That's wrong right there with his feet on his neck.
Look at his nose.
You seeing your knee on his neck. Yeah, you got your feet right on his neck, dog.
I cannot breathe. I cannot breathe.
You just a grown, you're a tough guy. You're a tough guy, huh? I say you're a tough guy. You're not even resisting arrest, bro.
His whole nose is bleeding.
Fight with him?
Bro, but why you just sitting there? He ain't doing nothing now. Put him in the car.
They'll kill me.
How long y'all gotta hold him down?
This is why you don't do drugs, kids.
It ain't about drugs, bro. Y'all understand that?
Y'all don't gotta put y'all
his neck, bro.
right.
He is human, bro.
His nose is
But I'm saying you
bleeding.
can put him in the car. That's a
We
bum
tried
ass.
that.
That's a bum ass. That's a bum ass shit. Y'all know that. You don't gotta sit there with your knee on his neck, bro.
He's talking, he's fine.
Bro, he ain't fine, bro.
Alright, we're done.
You circle like in a jiu-jitsu move, bro. You trapping his breathing right there, bro.
Okay.
Like you don't think that what it is, bro? You don't think nobody understands that right there, bro? I trained at the academy, bro. That's some bullshit, bro. Right, that's bullshit, bro. That's bullshit, bro. You fucking stopping his breathing right there, bro.
I can't breathe.
Okay, he's talking. It's
He's
hard to talk when
talking,
you
bro. But you could get him off the ground. You been a bum right now. You could get him off the ground, bro. You could get him off the ground. You been a bum right now. He enjoying that. He enjoying that shit. He enjoying that shit. You a fucking bum, bro. He enjoying that shit right now, bro. You could have fucking put him in the car by now, bro. He's not resisting arrest or nothing. You enjoying it. Look at you. Your body language explains it. You fucking bum.
Bro, get the f off of here.
It's the whites. They love
But
doing that to the
no, I
black
already know that, bro. I trained with half of these bum ass dudes at the academy, bro. You know that's bogus right now, bro. You know it's bogus. You can't even look at me like a man because you a bum, bro. He's not even resisting arrest right now,
His
bro.
nose is bleeding.
You stopping his breathing right now, bro. You think that's cool? You think that's cool
really
though,
not.
right? What's your oh man, what's your badge number, bro? You think that's cool right now, bro? Bro, you're a bum, bro. You're a bum for that. You're a bum for that, bro. You get mad. You just sitting there stopping his breathing right now.
Look
The
at
dude
him.
about to go out now, bro.
Look at
Bro.
him. Get off of him now.
What is wrong with y'all?
What the? He got mace. He got mace. He cannot breathe. Get over here. No, first of all.
Bro, look, well, you can check on him. He's not responsive right now. He's not responsive
Look at him.
right now. He's not responsive right now. He's not responsive right now. He's not responsive right now, bro. No, bro, look at him. He's not responsive right now, bro.
Check her pulse.
Bro, are you serious? You gonna just let him sit there with that on
Let
his
me
neck,
see a
bro?
pulse.
Is he breathing right now? Check his pulse.
Have this conversation.
Check his pulse. Check his pulse, Tal. Tal, check his pulse. Tal, check his pulse, bro.
Look at this dude.
Bro, check his pulse, bro. You
He's
bogus,
just
bro.
lame.
Don't do
You
drugs,
bogus.
guys.
Don't do drugs, bro. What is that? What do you think that is? You call what he doing okay?
Get back
You
on the
call what
street.
he doing okay? You call what you do? You call what he doing okay,
Are you
bro?
really a firefighter?
Yes,
Bro.
I am from Minneapolis.
Bro, you think that's okay? Check his pulse.
Check his right
Tal,
pulse
check his
now.
pulse.
Get back on the
Check. The man ain't moved yet, bro. The man ain't moved yet, bro.
Okay. Where?
Minneapolis.
Okay.
Bro, you're a bum, bro. You're a bum, bro. You're
Check his
definitely
pulse
a
right
bum,
now. Tell me
bro.
what it is. Tell me what his pulse is right now.
Check
Swear
the
to God.
pulse. Bro, he has not moved not one time.
He's
bro.
off. He's off crack right now. He's
But
probably
bro, go
OD'd.
back in the store, bro. You don't understand.
No.
Bro.
I'm the reason.
Okay, that's cool. Go back in the store, bro. Go back in the store, bro. He's not moving.
I see that.
Bro.
I'm trying to help y'all out.
Bro, you don't need to help me out, bro. I know your parents. I know everybody that owns the store. You don't need to help me the out, bro. He's not moving right now, bro.
I just saw that, man.
Bro, he was just moving when I walked up here.
And I know. Then that they did that to
You
him.
just
They did
got
that
out.
to
You
him.
just got back out here, bro.
I've been watching it the whole time
You
through
just
the
got
camera.
back out here, bro.
You guys right now.
He doesn't have it, bro. He's not moving,
No, did they kill him, bro?
bro.
They
Bro,
just killed him
what
or
is you,
something.
1087, bro? You're a
Oh
bum,
my
bro. Or
God,
987, bro. You're a bum.
was just
First thing you
alive.
want to grab is your mace because you scared, bro. Scared of minorities, you bum, bro. Like, bro, 3 minutes, bro. He's not moving. Bro, he's not even moving. Get off of his neck, bro. Get off of his neck.
Still on him, bro.
Yes, look at that,
Back on
bro.
the street.
Are you serious? Bro, are you serious? And you gonna keep your thing on your neck? Yeah, I bet you. Bro, it's,
Hey, don't fucking touch him.
bro, I barely touch me like that, dude. I swear I'll stop.
I didn't want to call the ambulance.
Bro, he's just gonna let him keep his hand on his neck, bro? You're a bitch, bro. Tal, you gonna let him keep that like that? You gonna let him kill that man in front of you, bro? Huh?
Like what?
Bro, he's not even moving right now, bro. He's not even moving,
This is
bro.
what it is. We gotta deal with this shit.
Bro,
They're not gonna help us, bro.
Right, he black. They don't care.
987, you're
If it
bum,
ain't they
bro.
people, they don't care, bro.
You gonna just sit there with your knee on his neck, bro? You a real man for that, bro. He ain't handcuffed,
Look at him.
bro.
Just
You a
sitting there.
real man, bro.
I'm a
You
first
real man, bro.
first
I trained
responder
with
from
these
Minneapolis.
dumbass
The
niggas.
fact that you guys aren't checking his pulse and doing compressions if he needs that, you guys are on
Oh
another
my
level.
God, bro.
And then he just gonna
Okay.
pull him
They
up
just
there like
dragging
that,
him
bro.
like, come
Yeah,
on
and
now.
I have your name tag, bitch.
That's not very professional.
It don't matter. So what? Freedom of speech.
bro.
Freedom of speech, bro.
Back on the street.
Don't touch him.
Don't touch
I got
me.
this all on camera. Watch out.
Don't touch me again. Don't touch
You
me.
touched him. You went to him. So shut up. You went to him. Why always like to start something?
Don't touch me, bro.
I ain't said a word. Having that thing.
Like you bogus, bro. You damn near dead, bro. He's dead, bro.
I can't hold that. I can hold that. I ain't said a word. I appreciate you. You're wrong now, bro. You're wrong now.
Hey, focus, Freddie.
Say all lives matter. Okay, so that's white people, black people, Asian people, Muslims, trans, Jewish people, Native American, all kinds of people are in the spectrum of all lives because all lives matter, right? Okay, great. But when you have one particular subset of lives that are consistently being murdered and beaten in the streets and discriminated against, then what you're gonna end up with actually is most lives. And if you're gonna continue to say all lives matter, all does not equal most. Okay, Karen? So what we're gonna need to do is we're going to need to help the lives that need helping so that all lives can fucking matter.
Peace and blessings, everybody. I am Omar Terrell, and the video that I'm about to do right now, it should definitely go viral. If it doesn't, it's due to two reasons. Either you're afraid to put this message out there, or you are hating on a movement that is in dire need of happening. That movement is unity. So here's the big question. Why are we hated so much? We do not deserve the labels that they try to slap on us. We don't deserve the hatred. We don't deserve to be murdered. We don't deserve to be killing ourselves. So why is it that we're hated more than any other ethnicity in the world? White supremacists want us dead and exterminated. Why? What did we do that was so wrong that caused you to have hatred from beyond 400 years ago until this present date, which is 2020? There's so much history I want to cover in this video, but I know everybody has a short attention span. Let's just start with America. Between the systematic oppression and the actual physical oppression that black people have endured in America only, white supremacy has done more damage to us than we could ever do to them. Side note, this video is not to encourage a race war. This is actually to find the solution. Now let's go down memory lane of what has been done to us all these years. Number one, you guessed it, slavery. You kept human beings, okay, against their will for over 400 years. Divided our families. You killed us, and different methods of kill too. Chopping off the head, castrating our genitals, hanging us from trees, which to mention, lynching just in 2019 became a hate crime. 2019 just becoming a hate crime. White supremacy raped our women. Oh yeah, shooting us, stabbing us, beating us to death, throwing us in pits with alligators. I know it hurts, and it's supposed to hurt. It's not supposed to make you feel good. How do you think them people that got this treatment felt? And you know what we had to do when this was done to us? Deal with it. Until this day, we have to act like none of that happened in history, and we have to act as normal and civilized as possible, knowing that we are sharing a earth, sharing a world with people on it that encourage that until this day. What did we do so bad? Emmett Till was a child that got beat to death for something he did not even do. Thousands of black people are in prison right now. Some even died in prison for false reports. Amy Cooper just pulled that the other day. What did we do so bad to deserve this? You made us go to schools that were underfunded. You dropped drugs and weapons in our communities, okay? Then you created laws to have an all-out war on the same people that you gave these assets to. You killed every leader that we've ever had to come forth and promote peace, prosperity for all. Not just black, but for all. We tried to get our own everything for white supremacists that say, hey, just do your own thing. We tried that. We started to build our own economic structure. Tulsa, Oklahoma. You bombed it. What did we do that was that bad? Come out with hip hop. We try to create music and sound that inspire the people. What do? You take our music, you take our hip hop, and you use it as a tool of destruction against us. And if you listen to rap music, what do you hear? The same verbiage just from black people, black rappers and entertainers. You hear the same verbiage as if it's from a white supremacist that's trapped in a black person's body. Again, what did we do that bad for you to hate us, to want us to be exterminated? White supremacists when it comes to law enforcement. Notice that I've said white supremacists, not white people, this whole entire video. You planted drugs on us to charge us for crimes we didn't commit. You give us maximum sentencing for the same crime that if a white person commit, they would have less time to do, less penalty. We're being killed when we're harmless and cuffed. And you know what we do? We deal with it. We don't fight back. We don't go out here looking for the KKK. We're not in search of trying to kill all whiteys. We just want to live. Peace and prosperity. That's it. So the fact that you can't let us live, just let us live. What did we do that was that bad in history that you want us exterminated? Because going off of what examples I just gave, you've done everything to us. And we have done nothing to you to cause what's happening that should have been fixed years and decades ago. So this message isn't just for black people. This message is for the white people that are non-supremacists. This message is for the Latino community that they're trying to make the new Negro. And by the way, if you have color in you, you're black in my book. But if your ancestors were slave in America, this is definitely for you. We have never in history done anything to cause the treatment being done to us. But if you do not stop treating us like this, which is unfair and cruel, we will soon do something. We are not powerless. We are not weak. And I'm telling you now, if you keep fucking with us, you're going to wake up a sleeping giant. And let this be clear to my Caucasian friends and family that have been knowing me for years, and I do love you. it's your time to step up to the plate and denounce those evil motherfuckers. Because if what happened Monday night and what happened over this course of this weekend and what's been happening for the centuries in America, if that continues, we're going to have a serious problem. And what I'm saying is we can all be happy and live in harmony together. Okay? All you need to do to support this message is share this video. It's free to support. Share button, please.
Peace.
Thank you.
It's Brother Polite. I got a lot of questions, so I'm going to break it up in different videos. But my first question, my main question is, where are all the guns? I see plastic bottles being thrown. I see rocks being thrown. Never mind the fact they're allowing us to burn down precincts with no police coming. No National Guard. They just let us burn down a goddamn police precinct. Where are the guns at? And I'm not asking for anyone to hurt anybody. I'm not advocating any of that. This is what I'm saying. We were just having and still having a problem with gun violence in our community. Gang members nationwide are still presently banging on each other. But right now, with this riot, you can hear a rat piss on cotton. Where are the gang members meditating? Where the hell are the gang members? The reason why I'm asking this question, I got a lot of questions, but the reason why I'm asking this question is because when my brothers are mad at other black people, you know what they say? They say, this is no-fly zone. You know, when our people are making money, they say, yo, we're going to show up in front of your concert, and you better not pull up, because we're going to kill your ass. You know, people be telling me, out here in Chicago, we don't play. Watch what you say about gang members, Polite. Yo, in LA, we don't play those games, Polite. I know you from Brooklyn. This is what they say to me. And the Brooklyn brothers, they all killing each other too. Where are the guns at? I see plastic bottles being thrown. I don't see one goddamn bandana on nobody. I don't see the bandana. The niggas who raise hell and terror amongst each other in their community. Where the hell are you at? You guys were crying about 6ix9ine being a snitch because he broke the G code. Gangsters don't do no shit like that. He broke the G code. Everyone was concerned. No one gave a damn that he was allowed by black gang members to project genocidal themes in his lyrics and also outside the music industry. In the real world. Y'all ain't give a hell about that. You said, Polite, you condone the snitching? I'm just saying, like, yo, hold on, bro. Something's prerequisite. The man was over here leading the charge in black people shooting other black people. But fine. I just want to know where the hell the guns are at. I'm not telling no one to shoot anybody. I'm just saying our brothers have been shooting each other at every opportunity they get. I just want to know if we're not supposed to snitch, because that's part of the G code, right? And I got the damn paperwork for the G code right here. Here's the paperwork. No-fly zone. That's when Negroes who don't own the airport, the airlines, they tell you when you can land and when you can't land. You can't come in this city no more. That's what the Negroes say. Okay, what's the other one? Check in. You gotta check in. If you don't call the local hood that doesn't own the real estate, you can't come on their block or on anyone else's block because you gotta check in. You definitely can't snitch. Don't tell nobody that I'm responsible for shooting another black man. Keep that on the hush. These are all the G codes. But I don't see anything in the G code, people. I got the paperwork. I don't see any G code here that says allow the white man to kill your black ass. And when he kills your black ass, still keep black people as number one on the priority list of your murders. Babies are getting killed, stray bullets. Young ladies getting killed, stray bullets. You guys been banging and talking about who can land where. Talking about this damn G code. Who shouldn't snitch? Niggas should get killed for snitching. You guys are murdering each other. But for the life of me, the brothers who got the guns that turn them on each other, has someone told you guys? Has someone reprimanded you for being a revolutionary at heart? What the hell is going on in the gang community? I don't want to hear shit about who's a fucking gangster. I don't want to hear it no more. I don't want to hear shit about no damn G-checking when our own people can be murdered at the hands of this goddamn cracker. And y'all gonna turn around when this shit is over and go back to killing each other. Y'all are the most quiet motherfuckers and weirdest niggas on the planet Earth. The whole fucking gang community need to put their OGs back in alignment. Or throw the whole goddamn community away. Throw the whole goddamn community away. See, we want to complain about the white man doing what he has been doing since time immemorial. Destroying nations, stripping people of a thorough knowledge of self, raping, robbing, pillaging, and castrating. Now, I'm not saying all white people have that in their heart and their soul, but certainly the world is no stranger to black people dying at the hands of the white race. Certainly, we're no strangers. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you guys this. Are the gang members missing because they're afraid they're going to get the coronavirus or something? You know, you guys can practice social distancing by busting your gun. You don't have to wear a mask or nothing. You can be 6 feet away. You can be 6 feet away and practice social distancing while you bust your fucking gun. Now, I'm not telling nobody to kill anybody. I'm just saying black people shouldn't be on your priority list of killers. If 1,100 plus years of the trans-Sub-Saharan slave trade wasn't enough for you to suffer the consequence of being double castrated and suffer the consequence to have to walk on hot sand miles and miles away at the hands of Arab imperialism. And if it wasn't enough for the white man to pick up a better slavery model, monetize it, become a better slave master, and have us in subjugation for over 400 plus years, if that didn't get under your goddamn skin, this racial animus being perpetrated against our people, this violent aggression being perpetrated against our people, the police department are contract killers. They don't get incarcerated. There's a contract. There's an agreement there. You got to learn how to deal with contract killers. I ain't saying to kill them. I'm just saying you got to understand that they're on contract so they can get away with killing. You got to understand how this works. This is why we have a community called New Covenant, which is the community, but SARS is our movement. Not SARS as in severe acute respiratory syndrome, but self-administering reparations, scientifically. Because you have to be able to identify yourselves as a race, which is to establish two things. Your previous condition of servitude, and then as a collective, once you establish your previous condition of servitude, you leverage the events and circumstances that you don't want to revisit, and therefore that is the impetus for you to establish your political legal disposition. So in light of what has transpired in the past, this is what we will not do in the future. Rioting is one thing. A plan for action and organization after the emotion is another. My brothers and sisters, you've done your rioting. Get the hell out them streets. Get organized. Stop tweeting how much you sad and you know, God be with his family. I hear all of that. I hear all of that. And you don't want to organize with each other because he believe in Allah and he believe in God or Jesus Christ. I get it. So you can't organize. Like that white man said, yo, which religion are you part of before I murder you? So while Allah and Jesus is playing rock, paper, scissors, and both of them get scissors at the same damn time, They both get sentenced at the same damn time. You two Negroes can leave. But everybody else that's serious about organizing, serious about the mobilization of our people, come walk with me. There's a smarter approach towards our evolution. I am the evolution of the revolution.
Hey friends, and well, let me be honest, probably before this video is over, some of you will consider me as an enemy. But I wanted to share a couple minutes about my thoughts, not only on the tragedies that we have been experiencing over these past months, and especially these last couple of days with the shootings of our black men, but what I'm coming to learn over my 23-year journey of being a white man, living and ministering amongst my black family here in several inner cities of Chicago. And I'm going to speak very black and white because, let's be honest, it's a black and white issue. I want to take you to the book of Exodus, chapter 1, and I wanted to share a little bit of what took place prior to the rise of Moses. When I read that, it talked about that the Pharaoh became concerned and very fearful that the Hebrew slaves were growing in number and in power. So in order to maintain their oppression, he put upon them great labor. He put upon the Hebrew slaves cruelty to keep them down. However, they still grew. And so he brought together some midwives, and he instructed them that when a Hebrew boy was born, kill him. Well, these midwives did not follow, and the Hebrew slaves continued to grow. Eventually, the Pharaoh became so hatred and towards those Hebrew slaves that he made a decree. He put out an order that male baby boy Hebrew slaves were to be killed by casting them into the Nile River. Let's look at America. We brought blacks into this country as slaves. We never intended them to be anything other than a slave. But they began to grow in number and in power, and eventually they fought their way to some freedom. So we became even more cruel, and to keep our black Americans down, we lynched. But yet they rose. So then we used the welfare system, the criminal justice system, to keep them down, to contain them, to destroy them. But yet they rose, and they're rising. Then we built prisons and jails to hold them. Yet they rose. And so now we are doing exactly what the Pharaoh did at the end, sending out a decree: kill them. So until we admit that when we wrote this Constitution that all men are created equal, that we never intended to include our black brothers and sisters, our nation may end up facing exactly what the Egyptians faced when they refused to let God's people go. So I'm going to say this to my white fellow Americans, that the bloodshed that is on its way is not on the hands of our fellow black Americans, but is on our hands. We are the ones that are refusing to let God's people go. We are the ones that are refusing to acknowledge that we do not value our black brothers and sisters as equal individuals or equal Americans as us white men. And to my black brothers and sisters, the racial issues, as I've said, have been there from the very foundation. But why do we see it more? Because there's a shifting. See, us white men have been at the head since the foundation. But we've had a black president. And you know, we've done everything in our power to keep him from really changing things. Now we have another minority rising to the top, a white female. What does that say? Those of us who are white men who have been at the head are now starting to see and fear that we are going to become the tail. And we know what we've done to you. And so now we're fearful that you're going to do to us what we have done to you. But I will say this. I've lived in a black community for 23 years. I've never been treated the way that this country has treated my black Americans. So I call out my white Americans to say we better heed, repent, acknowledge, and change. Because if we don't, I just want to again say this. The bloodshed that we will experience is on our hands, not the hands of our fellow black Americans. I welcome your comments. I welcome your feedback. Hit me up on Facebook or go to my webpage at www.studio2911.org. Again, that's studio2911.org. I don't necessarily know the answer, except for us white Americans need to repent, acknowledge the lies that we have taught, acknowledge our value system of equality. It is not here, and it does not include our black brothers and sisters. And we need to change, and we need to change now. Thanks for your time. Bless you.
All this bullshit going on, they gonna send all white boys over here. Fuck they think they is. They ain't gotta worry about it. We ain't gotta worry about them motherfuckers. No, they ain't gonna fuck with nobody. Them motherfuckers about to come through this motherfucker trying to get them kiss our motherfucking feet right now.
I can do it. We're gonna beat on that ass. I don't like the police. The police I got your mom.
Man, look here.
I don't hear no bomb because I ain't gonna get it. I'm be like, hey, I'm gonna spin the block. Y'all could have spent the block when the white man jumped on me. Ain't nothing in there.
Look at you, that's the key.
Don't stop, whatever you do. I'm hitting the dash as soon as you in that motherfucker. You tell me you in, I'm hitting the motherfucking dash.
Damn, I think I know him. He was a CO, wasn't he?
Which one?
The motherfucker in the front.
You always messing with them police.
I ain't messing with no motherfucking police. They messing with us.
Logan! Hi, Logan! You do all that all my life.
You talking that shit today.
Huh? What's up? What? I can't hear you. Oh, it's going good. Huh? Yeah, y'all make sure y'all have a good day. What y'all doing though? Just walking? So y'all just walking?
Walk over here.
Don't say nothing, sis. Oh, okay. Well, you know, make sure y'all speak then, man. This community over here. I said this community over here, man. Huh?
We're just coming over here walking around.
Okay,
that's what they asked us to do. Just come out here, say hi to people.
Damn, they ain't seen no black officers.
It's a sign-up thing. So we come over here. We walk around,
all the white people signed up to walk over here.
Well, it's just it happened yesterday. So.
Oh, okay. I'm just checking y'all temperature, man, because you know people, the community is scared of y'all.
Oh, no, I'm trust me. I ain't out here doing nothing. We're just out here walking around, seeing if anybody needs anything. Saying hi to people. That's all we're doing.
Okay. Yeah, we need. Yeah, because like you know, we unfamiliar with y'all because y'all don't never come out here and show us no love or nothing.
And that's what we're trying to change. We're coming out here trying.
So what love y'all got for us then?
I got some stickers. That's about it for right now.
What kind of stickers?
Like the little.
I'm 40 years old. I want to do with a sticker.
They're more for kids.
Huh? Yeah, get in his arm right here.
Yeah.
Damn, what kind of sticker you got? A Black Panther sticker?
No, they're just like the ones we give out to kids, you know.
Oh, okay.
Future police officers.
I ain't gonna hold you up, man. I'm gonna let y'all bust y'all. Hey, what's up?
No, but we're just coming out here, just talking to people, seeing how everything's going. That's it.
Okay. We make sure, cause we police our own community. How y'all doing?
Okay, how are you, man?
All right, man. I was born and raised over here in 1979, you hear me? We police our own community. What's up, man? All them tattoos on your arm, you a thug, ain't you? Huh? What?
We're matching.
I'm a thug for real, though. Is you for real with it? You faking?
I don't know, what do you think?
I don't know, man. Is that some white supremacy shit? Or you been in the army?
Nope, Marines.
Oh, Marines.
Yep.
Who Roy? What?
My daddy just hurt me.
Okay, I don't want to hear about your daddy right now. All right.
What about you? You in the military?
Nah, man, you know, we just ain't comfortable. Like, y'all didn't no black officers sign up?
I guess not. I guess it's the white officers today.
Damn. Okay.
Y'all
we want to breathe, you hear me?
Walk y'all block and get out of here.
Okay. It's all good, man. All right, we appreciate y'all. Get your workout in, man.
Don't
Cause we looking for love, you hear me? We looking for love, sis. We look. Listen. We good, man.
Something good. Don't spend it too
Hey, we take care of the children over here. We take care of the women. We take care of the elders. We police our own community, but it's all good. If you really coming in love, where the love at?
When y'all hit that corner down there, remember I said don't spin the block twice.
Shit, the love that we deserve.
Can't do like John Cena. Can't love on you if we're not out here talking with you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man, let's talk. Hey, man. You right. You right.
John Cena.
He built like a chihuahua.
Hey, you too. All right. Hey, next time have a bag full of candy and some gift cards and shit.
Like I said, this first time doing it.
Hey, okay. First time, second time, gift cards. Y'all know Commander Graves? Y'all know Commander Graves? Okay, give a Commander Graves, get some gift cards, and pass some gift cards out when you walk through here.
I'll tell her.
Yeah, because right now, man, all this shit going on in America, all white faces, that shit we ain't feeling that. Yeah, we can't either. Yeah, we can't either.
You ain't looking for you.
Oh, you a street. How old are you, man? How old are you? Yeah.
I'm almost 40.
You almost 40, okay. I was just trying to see how old you got to do for you. All right. Well, I ain't going to hold you, brother. All right. Y'all have a good day, man. All right.
Undertaker looking at. Hey, sir, slow down.
Look, he's trying to write the tag number down.
It's all good.
Let me take a picture.
The one they said look like John Cena.
John Cena, don't.
2,400 years ago in ancient Greece, Plato discussed the importance of population control. Aristotle advocated the use of abortion and infanticide. In 1798, an essay on the principle of population was written by Thomas Malthus. he outlined the idea of positive checks, which are diseases, wars, disasters, famines, and genocides. Malthus believed that these things should be utilized to increase the death rate, and believed that human misery was an absolute necessary consequence. In 1859, Charles Darwin published The Origin of Species. In it, Darwin only hinted at the implications of human populations, but his cousin, Sir Francis Galton, became obsessed with the idea. In 1883, Galton published Inquiries into Human Faculty and Its Development, wherein he wrote that his intention is to touch on various topics more or less connected with that of the cultivation of race, or, as we might call it, with eugenic. The term comes from the Greek word eugenis, of noble birth. In the early 20th century, eugenics became an academic discipline in universities. Organizations were formed and funded to win public support. The Kaiser Wilhelm Institute and the Cold Spring Harbor Institute rejected the idea that all humans are born equal and began selling the idea of cultivating a new master race of noble bloodlines. Planned Parenthood was formed in America by racial eugenics advocate Margaret Sanger. President of IBM, Thomas J. Watson, established a special subsidiary in Poland called Watson Business Machines to assist in the Nazi invasion of Poland. This business continued throughout the war, and IBM managed the entire operation from their headquarters in New York. During the Nuremberg trials, the Nazis quoted U.S. Supreme Court Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes in their own defense. They claimed that their eugenics program was being run from the United States. The Nazis were rightly admonished for war crimes, but not Thomas Watson. He went on to create the IBM World Trade Corporation and passed IBM on to his son. His granddaughter ended up marrying Margaret Sanger's grandson. Bill Gates' father worked on the board for Planned Parenthood, and his mother worked on the corporate board for IBM, who Bill partnered with to create Microsoft. With no medical background, Bill Gates then went on to become the world's foremost pusher of vaccines and population control. Do you think this is all coincidence? The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation funds the WHO, the NIH, the CDC, and the UN. And now he is saying that until we get mass vaccinations, we might never be able to gather in groups.
And which activities like mass gatherings may be, in a certain sense, more optional. And so until you're widely vaccinated, those may not come back at all.
The president's coronavirus response team are all pushing the Bill Gates vaccination agenda. Dr. Fauci is on the leadership council for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. In January of 2017, Anthony Fauci told a crowd at Georgetown University that there would be a surprise outbreak during the Trump presidency.
There is no question that there will be a challenge, the coming administration, in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak.
Deborah Birx is a board member for the Global Fund to Fight AIDS, Tuberculosis, and Malaria, which was founded by the Gates Foundation and known for millions of dollars of fraudulent misuse of funds. In October of 2019, Bill Gates sponsored Event 201, a simulation that estimated 65 million people killed by coronavirus. In November of 2019, the Purebright Institute, funded by Bill Gates, was granted European patent number EP3172319B1 for a coronavirus vaccine that may be used to treat humans. Today, Dr. Fauci says the virus will keep coming back, and he says the ultimate game changer will be a new vaccine. In Australia, the Prime Minister is telling people the shutdown will last months, that it's the new normal, and that the only way out of your homes is to accept the vaccine. There is no proof that vaccines are the answer. In fact, The CDC admitted in federal court that it does not have studies to support the claim that vaccines do not cause autism. A top UN scientist admitted that vaccines are killing people. It is time to do some hard thinking. Will you allow your government to impose forced vaccinations? For Infowars.com, this is Greg Reese.
So it's against the law?
It's against the law to make you wear a mask. It's against the law. The ADA tells them that you cannot make people wear a mask. It's not our laws at all. This is just made up by Bill Gates and them, and by you wearing that. Seriously, think about it. You're breathing out your toxic air, and you're breathing in the same air. You're making your lungs, you're killing your antibodies. So that if there's a cold that comes around in November, you're getting sick. You're making yourself sick. You're making, breathe.
Yeah, you're spitting out too.
No, baby, that's not what's going to make you sick. You're alive. Go look on the package, and it will tell you. It will not protect you from COVID-19. You are hurting yourself. Don't stop being lied to. They want to kill all the Mexicans.
Do you believe in the COVID?
They want to kill all the black people. They want to kill everybody. Watch out what you're being told. You're being lied to.
Do you believe in it?
Do I believe what the COVID? I believe there's a virus, but it's not what they say. It's like any other virus. They have 99% cure. 99% cure. So what kind of a virus is that? We all had viruses. We all get colds. You're being lied to. Please do your due diligence. Read, do your research. Don't let the government fool you. Be smart, please, for your sake. Because what's happening is she's hurting her antibodies in her body. She's breathing in the toxicity and the carbon monoxide that is going to make her sick. She's not getting enough breath in her lungs, which is going to cause her lungs to weaken. It's all damaging. Look it up for yourself. Go online and look it up.
I will.
Take my word.
Okay, go. Now put your finger in it and see if that changes it.
Show what it was. What happened?
It turns into some gelatinous ice thing. There it goes. There it goes. What is this weird?
Let me pick it up. Look at that. It's not ice.
Alien ice.
Look at that. It's not ice. It's like rubbery. It's still sitting here. What the hell? Look at this.
The most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Coming from Arrowhead.
I'm gonna get another one.
Here goes another one. Oh my god, it's like that sand stuff that you make for kids.
Look at it.
What is up? Brand new bottle of Arrowhead. Arrowhead spring water.
Holy shit. It does it as it pours out. Look at it.
What is this? What is this? We drank a bottle each.
And it's totally clear, totally liquid in here. Show it.
Yep, totally liquid, like water. And then you go and touch it, and it's like gelatinous rubber ice.
Look at that. Oh. Did it in here.
That's freaky.
It's like plastic.
Yeah.
This was from Walmart.
Yeah.
And it's not ice.
No, it's not ice.
And joining us now in studio, Chris Hedges, author with Joe Sacco of Days of Destruction, Days of Revolt. Welcome back to the agenda.
Thanks.
I have to say, when I first picked up your book, Days of Destruction, Days of Revolt, kind of thought, end of the world movie, Hollywood blockbuster. But when I read it, it is sort of a story about the end of the world as we know it, isn't it?
Yes, and what we're watching is not just the assault against the ecosystem, but the collapse of globalization. And both of those two events have profound consequences, which I think are now beginning to ripple across the globe.
You talk about in your book, it's focused on what you call sacrifice zones.
Right.
Tell me what you mean by that.
Well, they are the places where corporations were able to walk in, and we begin with Pine Ridge, South Dakota, and westward expansion and the railroad companies, and focus on Pine Ridge, which is one of the poorest pockets of the United States, as are all the pockets we talk about. The average life expectancy in Pine Ridge is 48 for a male. It's the lowest in the Western Hemisphere outside of Haiti at any one time on Pine Ridge, which is, of course, a reservation for Native Americans. 60% of the population lives without electricity or running water. This is the United States. And these sacrifice zones have just been ripped apart. The consequences to the environment, to families, to communities, all has been prostrated before the demands of the marketplace. And what's happened in places like Pine Ridge and Camden, New Jersey, which per capita is the poorest city in the United States, in the coal fields of southern West Virginia, in the produce fields, where you have undocumented workers whose work conditions often resemble slavery, quite literally, is that this exploitation which has cannibalized these areas, is now leaching outwards across the country.
So let's talk about Camden, New Jersey. It was at once a manufacturing hub. Campbell's was there, I think. Paint a picture of Camden in its golden age.
Well, Camden, because it sits on the Delaware River across from Philadelphia, in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, was a very vital manufacturing center. RCA used to be there. You had Campbell's soup was made there. You had a huge port which employed shipyards, which employed 36,000 people. Porcelain, I mean, all sorts of stuff was made there.
And now?
Nothing. It's a completely dead city. And that's why it's such a dramatic example. In other industrial centers, you have, parts, often large parts of the city that has decayed. In Camden, everything went. It is a city that produces nothing other than crime, drugs, and poverty. Roughly 100 open-air drug markets. It's not only per capita the poorest city, but it always ranks 1 or 2 as the most dangerous city in the United States.
I'm wondering, you have traveled so many places around this world. I mean, seeing poverty is really no stranger to you. And you said, this is in the United States, but when you set foot in Camden, I mean, were you shocked beyond what even your expectations might have been?
Well, I've been in the poorest cities in the United States, Detroit, East New York, but I was unprepared for the extent of the decay in Camden, where you have whole city blocks abandoned, trees growing out of roofs, the public library abandoned. It was post-apocalyptic. There's no place quite like it in the United States because there's nothing there. There's not even in a supermarket. You have a supermarket on the edge of Camden, but in the center of Camden, because the crime is so bad.
How many folks are there?
Camden probably now has a population of about 70,000, roughly.
And they got no supermarket, one on the edge of town.
Well, it's all processed food. I mean, we saw the same thing in places like southern West Virginia or even Pine Ridge. It's all fat and sugar. So you have, Crown Fried Chicken and donut shops. That's replicated. I mean, in these sacrifice zones, they're food deserts because of the way agribusiness is set up and the cost of importing fruits and vegetables from California or Florida, especially with rising fuel prices, prices out the poor. And so they don't get it. It's not sold to them.
So you have Camden in the golden age, Camden of today. Are you suggesting that we restart Camden's manufacturing base to get it back to a place where it's prosperous?
I think it's too late for that. manufacturing has, well, first it went over the border to Mexico, and now we see large-scale factory closures as people pack up and leave for the cut-rate embrace of China's totalitarian capitalism or Bangladesh. And with the rise of sort of a global neo-feudalism, workers everywhere are told that they have to be competitive with sweatshop labor that makes 22 cents an hour or prison labor in China. I mean, that's really the message that's being delivered. And one of the sort of heartbreaking aspects of going into a place like Camden is that quite literally the guts of the city are being shipped out. I mean, one of the few functioning businesses in Camden, aside from drugs, are the scrap yards. As soon as a house is empty, even if it's just being repainted, thieves will break in and take all the piping, anything that's metal, including the screen doors, take them down, and then you have ships from China, Turkey, Pakistan hauling this stuff off and smelting it down. There's a kind of self-devouring quality to these places in their kind of twilight existence.
It's a grim picture, obviously. What are the people there, though, sacrificing?
It's not what they're sacrificing, it's that they have been sacrificed. The people in these sacrifice zones have been destroyed. If there were two kind of common threads in every place that we worked out of, it was one, the power of religion, and of course on Pine Ridge that was Native American traditions, sweat lodges, the Sundance. I mean, that really was the only thing holding people together, which, by the way, is something I saw in the Middle East, in places like Gaza. If you're trapped in the open-air prison that is Gaza, and you have no employment, and you're sleeping 10 to a room, and you can't get married because you don't have a job, the one thing that gives structure to your life is praying 5 times a day and going to the mosque. And that was true in all of the places. For instance, the undocumented workers, primarily from Mexico and Central America, devoutly religious, those who managed to sort of build some kind of protection from the outside world. And then the rest fall into dramatic substance abuse. In southern West Virginia, it's primarily prescription medicine, Oxycontin. They call it hillbilly heroin. But we would walk into these old coal camps in West Virginia, and it was as if you were interviewing zombies. People were so zonked out on these opiates. And it's how you cope with that kind of pain, that despair, that loss of a future, that violence. We sort of went right down to the bottom to look at factors that are going to begin to affect wider and wider segments of the population in the industrialized world.
I know your in-laws live in Scarborough, and I don't know, have you ever been to Port McNicoll, Ontario?
I have not.
Okay, well, Port McNicoll, Ontario is a waterfront town, much like Camden is. Decades ago hailed as Chicago of the North, and now the town suffers from deterioration. So I'm wondering, is the Camdens of the U.S., is that a U.S. phenomenon as you see it, or is this a global phenomenon?
I wouldn't call it a global phenomenon. I would call it a phenomena of the industrialized world. As the industrialized nations have essentially allowed, and the United States is probably the most advanced, has allowed their manufacturing to be gutted and shipped overseas. I mean, we had cases where factories in the United States and places like Ohio were literally crated, packed and crated and shipped abroad. And then the rise of industrial centers in places like China that begins to resemble the kind of horror shows that we saw in Victorian England, where workers work until exhaustion. When companies don't make enough profits, we see this in China in these overcrowded dormitories, and wages aren't paid. People will climb up at the end of the month to roofs and jump off and commit suicide. No protection for workers, no kind of basic safety conditions, no environmental protections. I mean, people sort of exposed to toxic substances. That's what's being recreated. And so when we talk about neo-feudalism, that's really what we're saying. It's a world where all of the advances that were made by labor unions within the industrialized world are eradicated because the manufacturing class is completely stripped of all of their rights in places like Vietnam or China or elsewhere.
Okay, so jobs go overseas. How do you bring jobs back to a place like Camden?
I don't know that places like Camden are going to recover, partly because the infrastructure itself is so decayed and destroyed, and because the population itself, remember you're talking 2-3 generations of severe poverty, and the consequences of that psychologically, emotionally, physically are devastating. The educational system in places like Camden virtually don't function. The dropout rate is staggering, the illiteracy rate is staggering. It's extremely hard to resurrect a place like that. And the same is true in Pine Ridge, where you have an estimated 80% of the population are alcoholics. When people are reduced to that level of deprivation, they're broken in every way possible. And I don't know that in any of these sacrifice zones it's going to be possible to come back. In southern West Virginia, we're watching the coal companies blast the tops off of the mountains, the top 400 feet off of mountains to get at coal seams. It's called mountaintop removal. Well, I mean, this is poisoning the air, poisoning the water. Cancer is an epidemic in the region. We went into small towns where everybody, including the children, had their gallbladders removed. It is the water itself is fetid. It's hard to get your head around. We flew over the Appalachian and the willful destruction of the Appalachian Mountains, which are one of the oldest mountain ranges in the world, and of course the lungs of the eastern seaboard. It's where the headwaters of so much of the eastern seaboard's water comes from. It's all being poisoned and destroyed for short-term profit.
So there's this great outward migration out of these sacrifice zones for the most part. But you wrote about a guy in Camden, Joe Balzano,
right.
Octogenarian, 75, 70, I can't remember
Right.
how old he was. But he's one of the white residents who actually chose to stay. Why does he stay?
Well, he runs the port, so that the port, while it doesn't build ships anymore, is still functional. And he was useful in the sense that he could reconstruct the old Camden. He grew up in Camden as a boy, and he took us around Camden. So we're driving down these deserted streets, and he's talking about where this ice cream parlor was, or that movie theater was, or where his aunt lived. And it was a sense, I mean, we could look at old photographs, but it gave us a sense of what was there and what had been lost. And he became, and Joe drew him out in comic panels, but it became a way to visually give the reader a sense of what was there and what's there now.
You've done that in war zones. You've gone around and seen people have taken you around and said, this is, this was with this, and now look at it, it's a bombed out building
Right.
and stuff. Similar.
Right. Well, when we were in Bosnia, we would fly over Bosnia in helicopters, and you would just see town after town that was sort of dynamited into rubble by the Serbs. When we were in southern West Virginia, and Joe and I were in Bosnia together, it reminded us exactly of that same kind of landscape, where abandoned houses had eventually been set on fire. All you had were spindly chimneys and charred embers in row after row after row after row. The destruction of poverty. It's a good example of how the destruction of poverty can replicate almost exactly the destruction of war.
We can't really talk about the changes in the United States without talking about race. And there's another woman in Camden named Lolly, an African-American woman. To what extent is the deterioration of places like Camden exacerbated by racial tensions in your country?
Well, race is an issue that has plagued the United States since its founding. And the subjugation of African Americans is something that has been kept in place after slavery through convict leasing, Jim Crow laws. Both Martin Luther King and Malcolm X talked extensively about the impossibility of having racial justice until you had economic justice, when all of the routes out of poverty are cut, are blocked. Then you keep your underclass in places like Camden, and Camden is almost exclusively African American and Hispanic. You keep these people trapped. You keep them trapped through a dysfunctional educational system, the fact that they can't get credit, mortgages, loans, the fact that they can't get jobs, and of course, let's not forget the prison system. Almost everyone we interviewed in Camden, of the men, had spent time in prison.
But the thing that's interesting is Lolly, and the story you tell about, I mean, she doesn't really feel trapped, does she?
Yeah, Lolly comes out of that amazing tradition of these incredibly strong African-American women who are sort of forces of nature, and somehow, although they have, you know, a very realistic appraisal of what's happening around them, find this strength to hold people together. And the story of Lolly is that she not only raised her own children, but raised innumerable children who didn't have a mother.
And she's also very religious.
And deeply religious. And I think that's not coincidental.
So on the one hand, we have the Lollys and the Joe Balzanos. On the other hand, you write about a guy called George E. Norcross III. Tell me about him.
Well, George E. Norcross III is one of the most powerful political figures in the state of New Jersey, worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and he is the undisputed overlord of Camden, although he's white and although he does not live in Camden. You can't get elected to office, you can't get a job unless you go through Norcross. He is the boss of sort of southern New Jersey, and we know that he uses very brutal tactics to maintain control because he was taped. Nothing ever came of it. Some of those tapes, wiretaps, which were ostensibly going to be used in a case against him, were leaked to the press, and it's not language I can recite on mainstream television, but it's in the book. And you get a window. It's a window into how these people operate.
Why don't you tell me more about it? Because it's a Palmyra, New Jersey councilman records some of Norcross's control methods. Right.
Well, he goes on because he's pressured by Norcross, so the Attorney General's office sets up a sting operation. They record it, and then Norcross, because of his political clout, I expect, is never prosecuted. Most of the tapes have never been released to the public. A small, I think about 90 minutes or something, have been released. But it's enough to get a sense of how figures like Norcross work. And there are Ollie L. Sloan, a former councilman who ends up going to prison. He believes he was set up by Norcross, calls him the pimp of poverty. There are these figures for whom poverty can be a very good business. And Norcross is just, I think, one of many examples where those who are completely disempowered are preyed upon.
Are we seeing this by George E. Norcross just in New Jersey, or are there others like him, on a national scale?
No, I think Norcross is just emblematic of corporate power and where it lies, and how there is no impediment to corporate power, that these people are allowed to exploit and profit in ways that are not only against the common good, but I think are also questionable legally.
You make the connection in your book, it's one of the themes between the correlation between physical deterioration of a city and the subsequent moral breakdown. And I want to push you a bit on this, because there are prosperous cities like Toronto, for example, that, albeit in very rare occasions, like if I think of the G20, that we have seen instances of police brutality. So how does corruption in a place like Camden differ from what I think most people would agree that the leaders and their institutions might have a degree of, or accuse them of having a degree of corruption?
Well, just statistically, I guess in the last 2 decades, I think you've had 3 Camden mayors go to prison. The mayor that we interviewed when we were doing the book, her first job when she took office was cleaning up after the FBI had ransacked it and hauling off her predecessor. When societies like this break down, then you inevitably create a small parasitic elite that essentially plunders what's left. That's been true in Camden, but it was also true in Pine Ridge, certainly true in southern West Virginia. The coal companies own every politician, from the local city council member right up to the U.S. senator. You cannot defy, Massey Energy, Massey Coal, and survive politically. So when you go into these places where people are disempowered and they don't have either institutional mechanisms or social organizations to fight back, then, on a certain level, they become enslaved. These corporations are able to carry out policies that that literally make life almost unendurable, unbearable, and there's no one to stop them. And I think that's one of the fundamental messages of the book, that if we don't stand up to unfettered, unregulated capitalism, corporate capitalism, which, as Karl Marx correctly pointed out, is a revolutionary force, then the fate of those within these sacrifice zones will be the fate of many of us.
Okay, but I bet if I called up the mayor of Camden today or any previous mayors in the last decade, they're going to say, you know what, there has been an effort to improve things. And I think it's something called the Municipal Rehabilitation and Economic Recovery Act of 2002. Is what they say. That's really good. It's promoted as a way to create jobs, to improve quality of life, to reduce crime. So they're going to say to me, well, Hedges might be telling you one thing, but we're doing things to fix this problem.
Well,
Is there any evidence
that was
that
a
it's worked?
state initiative which didn't create jobs. It went to pet projects of George Norcross, including Cooper Hospital, which is a huge medical complex in Camden that's almost a kind of city within a city. It went to refurbish a waterfront aquarium that's used by tourists outside the city. As Ali El Sloan said, $30 million for the fish of Camden, while we have, tainted and contaminated water coming out of our pipes. So there was money, but it's a perfect example of how that money was siphoned off and enriched the elites and the projects of the elites, rather than affecting the average citizen. And even interestingly enough, even figures like Norcross have admitted that it had very little effect within the
Are
neighborhood.
tourists really going to Camden?
Well, they'll go to the aquarium is down on the river, so it's within the city limits of Camden, but that whole area around the aquarium has been leveled so that you don't actually get in close proximity to any actual residents in Camden.
Okay, I want to juxtapose what we're seeing in a place like Camden with another manufacturing city, Pittsburgh. So take a look at these numbers. These are the peak unemployment rates for both Camden and Pittsburgh once manufacturing collapsed late 70s, early 80s. So in Camden, New Jersey, in 1980, peak unemployment 17.9%, 2012, 19.5%. Pittsburgh, 1983 at the peak, 17.1, 2012, 7.7%. You agree with those numbers as I laid them out for you there?
Well, you have to remember that a lot of people in places like Camden, I can't speak for Pittsburgh because I haven't reported out of there, are no longer counted in the census. They're completely, because it's third or fourth generation poverty, they're not even on the official rolls anymore. The unemployment figures in Camden are ones of some dispute as to what the actual unemployment is. And remember that in the United States, there are all sorts of mechanisms to erase people from the unemployment rolls, so that if you stop looking for work after a certain period of time, you no longer are counted as unemployed if you are working at a poorly paid part-time job. And most workers at places like Walmart in the United States work about 28 hours a week. Although their wages put them below the poverty line, they're counted as employed. So the actual figures of unemployment, both within places like Camden and nationally, are far greater, as some newspapers like the LA Times have pointed out, than is officially put out.
Okay, but the point is that Pittsburgh seems to have turned the tide at any rate. So why can't more Rust Belt cities do what Pittsburgh has done?
Well, in Pittsburgh, and my understanding of Pittsburgh is that its primary employees are universities and medical centers. The manufacturing base, especially the steel mills, have been gutted and destroyed. I believe there's also been a population decline in Pittsburgh. And I've been to Pittsburgh. I was there for the G20. I don't think we can credit any of these cities with a revival as such, because what we have allowed to happen since the 1970s, and it was accelerated under Clinton with the North American Free Trade Agreement, is the dismantling of our manufacturing base. And there may be jobs in the service sector, flipping hamburgers, working at a gas station, working at Walmart, but these are not comparable to the kinds of jobs a unionized steel worker would have had in Pittsburgh, where they were making $50 an hour, where they had a pension, where they had medical benefits, where on their salary they could support a small family, maybe even buy a small house, send their kids to college. Those jobs are gone.
Now ever since my birth, I've been cursed since I'm born to wild, in case I never get to holler at my unborn child. Many things learned in prison, blessed and still living, trying to earn every penny that I'm getting.